This video will hopefully open your eyes to the evil music out there today and what bands, singers you shouldn't listen to. I have a lot to say on this topic and will be analyzing some of Coldplay songs in future videos. Therefore, I'm going to split this up into 3 or 4 parts. First, I need to lay the foundation of this argument, and that means talking about a guy called Max Martin. What do Taylor Swift, Ariana Grande, and Katy Perry have in common? Well, they all came to Max Martin to write their hit songs. And not just them. As you will see, almost a quarter of the music industry today is produced and written by Max Martin. Let's see what Wikipedia says about him. Carl Martin Sandburg, born on 26 February 1971, known professionally as Max Martin, is a Swedish record producer and songwriter. He rose to prominence in the late 1990s with songwriting credits on a string of hit singles such as Britney Spears' Baby One More Time, The Backstreet Boys' I Want It That Way, Celine Dion's That's the Way It Is, and NSYNC's It's Gonna Be Me. Now many people say he is a musical genius, but there is no way a man can write so many songs, and not only just songs, but hit songs. Also, how can he write music for singers with different styles? I'm going to show you on the following slides all the songs Max Martin has written or co-written, as they say. I saw a number of his songs I definitely heard before, like Blank Space by Taylor Swift, It's My Life by Bon Jovi, and Oops, I Did It Again by Britney Spears. And that's not all. There are so many recognizable songs for me on this list, and it's weird to think that it was all written by one man. I looked up the awards he won for his songs on Wikipedia, and that is a whole list in itself. I advise you to look it up since it really shows how much credit and praise he has gotten for these hit songs. Here are some of the top 10 most famous songs he has written. I don't know if you recognize any of these, but I certainly do. We hear them in the car, the supermarket, and in the background of YouTube shorts. No wonder they are so famous. I asked ChatGPT to tell me how many songs Max Martin has written, and I could not believe the answer I got. 450 songs! How is that even humanly possible? Well, it isn't. Max Martin didn't write these songs by himself, but had outside help from other worldly beings. Listen to this clip taken from a longer interview with Max Martin. He is the man sitting on the left, and talks about how he wrote his #1 hit song, One More Time by Britney Spears.
Making this song?
It's funny because this particular one, there's a little bit of a funny story, but I think it's funny.
Making this song?
It's funny because this particular one, there's a little bit of a funny story, but I think it's funny. But I was going to bed, and I was actually falling asleep, and this melody of the chorus sort of started, coming, and you lay there, but I was really tired, and I always back then I kept like a dictaphone, with a cassette tape. Some of you might remember that.
And this was even before the mobile phone, which you can record on.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. No. This is, And I was lying there trying to motivate myself to get out of bed and record this thing, because I had a feeling it was good. I was like, this is pretty good. But I was really tired. So I was lying there, and then I was like, you know what? I'll get out of bed. And I grabbed the thing, and I recorded it, and and then I went back to bed, and then I came up with like a different variation, and and I had to get up again and recorded it, and if you listen back, I have it somewhere, but I remember listening back to it after it sort of blew up, because I don't know why, but somehow I went through them, and you can hear on the last one, the last sort of take, you can hear, that's when I sort of go, because I'm tired, trying not to wake up my wife.
Making this song.
So basically he receives the lyrics and the melody. Doesn't write it on his own. Now I understand that you get inspiration for creative projects in life, and that the best ideas are never forced. But he is talking about something different here. I believe he is hinting to the fact that fallen angels or demons are writing his music. I know this idea sounds far-fetched on its own, but after all the proof I've gathered, hopefully you will come to see that this isn't right. Here are some of the things he said that is interesting when you consider the idea that this music comes from an evil source. Singing involves a great deal of psychology. It's never like, now I'm going to sit down and write this or that kind of song. The melodies may show up in the car, in the shower. This can be interpreted as he doesn't force himself to write, but when we look at the music he writes, it is clear that it doesn't come from him. Quote 3 is, "It is incredibly important to me that you remember a song right after the first or second time you hear it. That something sticks to you, something that makes you feel, I need to hear that song again. That's fundamental, something you want again and again." Also, quote 4, when pop culture can influence things in any way, when a song becomes something bigger than just a song, that's the greatest thing to me. This just shows how important influence is in the music industry. That is their main goal. That is Satan's main goal, to influence the minds of the younger generation with ideas that go against Yahuwah's commandments. Quote 5, you can hear songs that are technically great, songs that tick all the boxes, but for a song to be felt, you need something else. Here it is clear that this something that he needs is spiritual. The song, according to him, needs a spiritual message, something that will resonate with people, influence them to think a certain way or act a certain way. His songs definitely show what type of message he is promoting, and it is very evil. So now we are moving on to the other part of this video, the real reason I wanted to make this video in the first place. You may or may not have heard about the famous British band Coldplay, but I'm sure most people can at least recognize one of their songs. The lead singer's name is Chris Martin. I know, very similar to Max Martin. And in this video he talks about his new album called
Do you
Music of
write
the
a record like
Spheres.
that after coming
In
in
the
contact
past,
with somebody
Coldplay
who's
used to write their own
clearly on a
songs,
different frequency?
but for this album,
Or
they chose to
do you
work
write
with
it
the famous
aspiring to
writer
meet
and
somebody on a
producer,
different
Max
frequency?
Martin. This
I think
clip, Chris
probably.
Martin talks about how he writes songs.
Well, first of all,
Listen
man,
to the way he
because I
phrases
love you and I
things
respect you,
and trying to see
I
the
don't
deeper
really believe
meaning
that you
behind his
write
words.
songs. I think you can write songs, but good songs, you just receive them, right?
Yes. So when did
but that's like 1 in every 50. You know, we've maybe had 10 songs like that in 20 years that just land from the sky.
And are they the biggest hits?
They're always, yeah. So there's nothing to do with you, or no, without question. And so when a song arrives, it sort of tells you, I need this, or I need that, or we had a song called Viva La Vida. It said, I need a big church bell. And we were like, we can't have a song with just a big church bell for the drums. No, it's ridiculous. It was like, well, the song was like, that's what I need. They're very diva-ish songs. And so with Higher Power, for example, and a lot of our recent stuff, it's like, I need a female energy too.
Do you enter a state? Does it give you warning that it's coming? Do you have to, how do you get ready to even create something?
I think that you have to be constantly open looking. It's like being a surfer, you know. You can't catch a wave unless you're in the water. So I'm always on the lookout for a title idea or a new chord or a sound that I've never heard before. And those are like little portals through which a song might come.
When it comes, do you have to go in, you have to receive and just immediately dive in?
Yeah, immediately, yeah.
You can't like hold it and then like get to it.
I put it on my phone for a minute. But if it's really good, I'm like, we've got to get this going now.
Get out, yeah. Wow.
Are we going too deep, man?
I
is
love
this
this.
too hippie?
This is everything that I could ask for and a million times more, because the truth is I do believe that, like, first of all, Viva La Vida changed my life and the lives of millions of others, and it's a song like many of your songs, dude, fix you. I mean, there's so many songs that will live on. I mean, hundreds of years, they will be listening to them on other planets. They'll listen to higher power 150 years from now if there's still a civilization. I really do believe that with every fiber that I got. So to know that there is something bigger at play here is really, I mean, it's kind of cool and refreshing, because like really, like, these songs shaped my life, but the lives of so many people that I know, because music and art, it has everlasting power.
Would you?
Now let's look at parts of the conversation and analyze the hidden meanings in his words. Number 1 says, good songs, you just receive them. Again, receive. Max Martin essentially said the same thing. They both received the songs, and it shows up at any time. Number 2 says, that just land from the sky. What he is actually trying to say is that the beings from the sky are giving him the music. The songs just land from a source in the sky. That definitely sounds suspicious. Number 3 says, and they are always the biggest hits. So all the biggest hits and famous songs come from this source, the devil. It makes sense seeing how wicked and lawless the music industry is today. Number 4, they got nothing to do with you. Again, nothing to do with him, or his message or his beliefs, but the songs come from Satan and his demons and contain their messages. Therefore, it has nothing to do with him. Number 5, it tells you, I need this or I need that. The it he is talking about are the demons and fallen angels that are telling him to write, what to write and what the songs should be about. Number 6, it said we need a big church bell. Well, we can't just have a big church bell for the drums, that's ridiculous. Well, the songs was like, that's what I need. Sometimes they may not agree with Satan's choices and want to do their own thing, but they are reminded of what will happen to their fame and fortune if they don't do what he says. Number 7, they are very diva-ish songs. Diva-ish isn't a word, so he could have meant to say deviate or deviates, but that isn't as close as the word dervish, which when looked up has a very interesting meaning. I asked ChatGPT if he thinks that this could be possible and that Chris Martin wanted to say dervish instead of diva-ish. And yes, he could have, according to ChatGPT. Yes, dervish could be a plausible word that fits the context of they are very diva-ish songs. The term dervish refers to a member of a Muslim, specifically Sufi, religious order known for their uh, ascetic lifestyle and in some traditions their ecstatic rituals, including the well-known whirling dervishes. Um, when used metaphorically, dervish can describe something or someone that is energetic, fervent, or frenzied. In the context of songs, dervish might describe the music that is highly energetic, passionate, or has a rhythmic and intense quality, similar to the fervent spinning of the whirling dervishes. So the sentence could be, they are very dervish songs. This would imply the songs are dynamic and possibly have an intense rhythmic or ecstatic quality. Now, even if he meant it in the context of the music is energetic and passionate, he still uses the word dervish. And when I looked it up, when I looked up the Sufi religion on ChatGPT, I found a lot of strange things. This is the meaning and purpose of dervish songs, and therefore the meaning of Coldplay songs. I think this applies more to their new album, Music of the Spheres, since both Chris and Max Martin collaborated on this project, but it can apply to all of their songs. Um, Spiritual connection. Dervish songs, also known as Kawali or Derki, sorry, chants are meant to evoke a deep spiritual connection with God. The repetitive chanting or singing of divine names and phrases help practitioners focus their minds and souls on the divine. So, notice that it says the divine, which can mean any deity, not just God. So don't confuse this with them praising God, because I'm sure they do not believe in God nor serve Him truly. Okay, it says here, the music and rhythm of these songs are designed to lead the listener and performer into a state of ecstasy, a heightened state of spiritual awareness and connection. This is often achieved through the repetitive and rhythmic nature of the chants, which can induce a trance-like state. Repetitiveness is key, as you will see in my later videos, when I go deeper into some of their songs. Number 3, it says here, singing together in a group, often accompanied by instruments like the tabla and harmonium, fosters a sense of community and shared spiritual experience. This communal aspect is a vital part of the Sufi practice, emphasizing unity and collective worship. A collective worship. The music is designed as a way to get you to worship their God. And who is their God? I think we all know that it is Satan they serve and not Yahuwah the Most High. If they served Yahuwah, Max Martin would not have written music that promote lawlessness, and Chris Martin would not have said that he is an atheist, a person that supposedly believes in all religions. It is clear as day that these songs are a form of worship to Lucifer, and that by partaking in it, we are sinning against our Elohim, our God, and committing adultery. Idolatry, I mean. Number 4 says, expressing love for the divine. Many dervish songs express themes of love, devotion, and longing for the divine. They often include poetry and verses that praise God, the Prophet Muhammad, and Sufi saints, reflecting the deep emotional and spiritual yearning of the practitioners. Um, this is definitely there in their song Higher Power, if you want to check the lyrics. I mean Coldplay's song Higher Power. Um, the whole song is about worship to this deity, to their deity, and um, how Chris almost how Chris loves this person, like he was struggling before, but now this deity helped him. Number 5 is the lyrics of these songs often contain spiritual teachings and wisdom, serving as a means of imparting the principles and values of Sufism. It can be a way for practitioners to learn and internalize the lessons of their faith. So their lyrics contain spiritual teachings and messages that they want to promote. Spiritual can be good and bad, and this is the bad kind of spiritual messages. The type that tells you to rebel against the commandments of Yahuwah and worship Satan. Continuing, the phrases that he said in the video. Number 10, I think you need to be constantly open looking. He is saying to keep yourself open minded and therefore open to any spiritual information. Obviously, this is bad since demons can enter if you keep yourself open to them. See how he caught himself by saying open looking instead of open minded. Open looking implies that you look for inspiration for songs, while open minded lies more to the meaning of opening yourself up to demons. Um, Number 11, those are like little portals through which a song may come. I believe singers like Chris Martin receive songs through different means, like when they are listening to another song or doing an activity, the songs just come to them, and the inspiration and open-mindedness allows them to receive songs. Number 12, are we going to deep man or too hippie? Here you can see again how he tries to stop himself before he gives away too much. He knows he is going too deep and wants to steer the conversation in a different direction before it gets really weird. Number 13, Viva la Vida changed my life and the lives of millions of others. You can imagine, with so many people listening to their music, which contain dervish practices, the influence must be very great. And this impacts people not in a good way, but negatively. Number 14, to know that there is something bigger at play here, it is really refreshing and cool. Even the interviewer can see that there is a spiritual thing going on, something bigger than just music. Number 15, shaped my life and the lives of so many people I know. Again, the music has a lot of influence, um, can influence a lot of people. Number 16, uh, I music and art has everlasting power. I agree with him on this. Music is not just something that makes you feel good. Usually, with most music today, it has a deeper spiritual meaning that has a lot of power to shape minds and change the core beliefs in individuals. I found posts on Reddit that talk about how Coldplay impacted their lives. Listen to this. Coldplay is like that friend you can reveal all your darkest feelings to, who gets you, who you feel open with, and an hour later you're laughing and feeling alive with. Coldplay was the only music for me that bridged the gap between being supportive, emotional, and relatable with darkness, yet at the same time offering hope, support, and excitement to continue with life ahead. The song that is absolutely epitome of this is Everglow for me. The second one is Coldplay is my childhood and has always been there in the good and bad times. It has helped me carry through my lowest with everything that's happened in my life, especially through the pandemic. Their lyrics and music are somehow are somehow the soundtrack of my life. I love the magic and power those songs have had on me for so long. That's why they will always be my inspiration to keep going and my place to laugh, cry, and let it all out. Um, say on this is Coldplay is like a friend. I mean, this just shows how much the music means to these people. Also, when they said, um, I love the magic and the power these songs have. Like they know what the music is doing to them. Like I think they know that they can pick up that it has like a power or like a influence on them. And just like with the interview before, he he could also see that this is something bigger than just music. He could see it as a bigger something bigger at play. And it's just interesting because I don't think these people believe necessarily or just see that there's something spiritual going on, but still they can like see that there is something else and it's not just music. To conclusion, I made this video as a building block for future videos on this topic. My main message with this is that we should be careful what we listen to and what comes out of our mouths. And then by that I mean like what we sing. Any music written by Max Martin and produced by Coldplay is evil and should not be listened to. Hopefully this video showed you what has been going on behind their music and showed you not to trust them.